Good morning, everybody. I am Ryan, and this is Michigan Storm Chasers. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Today we have a severe risk across portions of the state. Let's go ahead and break this down, talk about when, where, and who is going to get storms today. Today's trusted partner of the day is McKay Tree Specialists. They are based in Southeast Michigan, and they will have all of your tree service needs covered from cleanup to just regular cutting. Feel free to give McKay Tree Specialists a call. 248-308-7308 is the number to call. And as always, thank you to McKay Tree Specialists for being today's trusted partner of the day. Let's talk about our severe risk. Per the SPC, the latest SPC outlook just came out literally 2 minutes ago as of 8:59 here a.m. on this Saturday morning. We have a level 2 slight risk in effect for portions of eastern Michigan. Detroit, Ann Arbor, Adrian, Monroe, Port Huron, Flint, Tri-City area, Alpena, as well as the Tawas and East Tawas area. That's going to be all hazards further north. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But if we go further north, further west, up here in the UP, the dark green colored areas, that's called a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5. That extends over toward Marquette, Iron Mountain, Sault Ste. Marie, down into Gaylord, Mount Pleasant, back toward, not quite to Grand Rapids, but close to Grand Rapids. Lansing's on the line there, as well as back here toward Coldwater. All right, let's talk about hazards today. The main concern, damaging winds. It is a 15 to 29% chance of seeing a damaging wind gust today within a 25-mile point anywhere in yellow. In the brown color, it is a 5 to 14% chance of seeing a damaging wind gust within 25 miles of any point in that color. That's your main risk today. A lot of moisture out there. Could see some downbursts. Could see a bit better organization of storms today as we have just a tad bit more wind shear to work with. Now, secondary risk here is going to be the large hail. It is a 5 to 14% chance here across pretty much the entire risk area. Do take note that the west part of Michigan's in general thunderstorms or a marginal risk, so lower end threat over there, less than 5%. But in this brown color, it's a 5 to 14% chance of seeing a large hailstone within a 25-mile point anywhere on the map. So, for example, what these probabilities mean is if you live in, let's say, Brighton, for example, you have a 5 to 14% chance of seeing a severe hailstone within 25 miles of Brighton. That applies anywhere in this colored area on the map. Now, there is a risk today for a tornado. We do have a little bit more wind shear out there, especially in the Thumb region, as well as up toward the Alpena, Gaylord, Roscommon, and Sheboygan areas. So it's a 2 to 4% chance, so it's a low-end risk, but it's still a risk we're going to watch very closely. It's there. We're going to monitor it. Could see some rotation out there with storms today. Now, here's the big question. So we have the risk in place. The environment is okay. It looks pretty good today. But the models are kind of struggling with what we're going to call convecting or showing storms popping up. So this is current radar here out there across the state. We have numerous special weather statements, which are step below severe warnings currently as of 9 a.m. here up by Gaylord to Sheboygan. Some gusty winds, frequent lightning, heavy downpours are possible. Those not severe, shouldn't be severe. Those should clear out. What comes later today will be the strong to perhaps severe. Now, let's go ahead and run this through. 10 a.m. here on this model. Let's go to 11 a.m. Let's go to noon. More storms start popping up. These could be ones to watch here in northern lower. But watch as we move to the afternoon hours here. Here's 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Pretty much the entirety of the west part of Michigan stays dry, like where there's no storms over here at all. And what happens on the east side is very, very isolated and minimal in nature here. In fact, these storms pop up close to the Canadian border to a point where Michigan may get missed for a good portion of the system. So let's go ahead and keep going going through. Here's 4 p.m., here's 5 p.m. And again, we got some pop-up storms in Michigan, but very close to the Canadian border there. So we're going to watch that. Also got storms up there in the UP. Those could also be strong. But overall, these models are not really showing anything organized or any line segments popping up. They're more so individual cells that form really close to Canada, so they may not impact a very large portion of the state today. This is just one model, though. Let's go ahead and move this over to our second model we use. Let's run this through to right around current time, which is 9 a.m. Here's 9 a.m. on the model. Let's go to 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Here's noon. Here's 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. And again, we have some cells popping up there in the UP. I also got cells popping up in Canada. But do take note, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. This model says we're pretty much dry across much of lower Michigan today. Let's look at one more model, the NAM model. Let's run this through to current time. Here is right around 9, 10 a.m. here. This looks pretty accurate of what's going on out there. We got a nice kind of showers and storm cluster up there in northern lower. So the NAM model has a pretty good idea what's happening right now in real time. Let's go to 11, noon. Here is 1 p.m. These storms pop up there for the thumb region right around that 1 p.m. time frame. 2 p.m., 3 p.m. More storms pop up there in northern lower. Let's go to 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and 7 p.m. A little bit more so scattered in nature, but for the most part, West Michigan gets missed, and East Michigan, very, very small populated areas get impacted with these pop-up storms. So general takeaway from all three models is storm coverage may, keyword is may, be limited in nature today, but also with these summertime setups, we said it yesterday on our briefing and on our videos, we're going to say it again, summertime setups like this can be confusing for models. So what we're going to tell you guys is across much of Michigan today, the threat for a thunderstorm is there for the entire state. For severe weather, I do think there's two distinct corridors here for potential severe weather. Number one being in the UP, where the marginal risk is in place. Number two being somewhere down here in the southern part, southeastern part of the state, as the models really want to hint at storms firing close to Canada, not quite in Canada, right around the US 23 and east corridor there. So the slight risk here, I think, is well placed. But if you're on the west side of the state, confidence is quite low. We're going to see storms over there today. So perhaps a dry day on the west side, perhaps some isolated scattered storms on the east side. Severe weather is possible for both east side and portions of the UP. Play it by ear. We'll have to kind of see what happens, but right now confidence is low in overall storm coverage. So what that means is we're not all going to see rain today. In fact, I'd say probably a good chance that 50, 60% of us or more are going to stay dry today. But for those that are impacted, gusty winds, large hail, as well as potential for a tornado further north where better wind shear lies, all on the table today. So we'll be tracking this 11 a.m. briefing. Joel and I will have you guys covered there, as well as coverage later today if need be in the event of any severe thunderstorm warnings or even tornado warnings today in the state of Michigan. That is all I have to share with you guys today. Looking ahead to tomorrow as well as Monday, here's tomorrow's SPC outlook. Do take note, we have zero risk for severe weather, and there's a very, very small sliver up there by Ironwood that is in a general thunderstorm risk, but pretty much a dry day expected for Sunday and a repeat day on Monday. No storms expected. So at least after we get through today, a bit drier in nature, more pleasant in nature for your Sunday and your Monday. So that is something to look forward to. All right, I'm going to pop out of here. You guys enjoy your day. We'll be live later today for a briefing at 11 a.m. on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Twitch. And if need be, coverage of severe weather here, same platforms, whenever the first warning is issued. You guys enjoy your day.